I really love card sketches, and if you're looking for a quick and easy one, I have Sketch 13 for you today. Hi, I'm Linda Bartolucci. I am the owner of Ink Stamp and Scrap, and I have been making cards for over 20 years. I'm on a mission to help you make clean, quick, simple cards and use up your scraps while you're doing it. So today we're going to use my Sketch 13, and we are going to make this card, and I made this as a bonus card. So let's get into it. All right, so when I use a sketch, the first thing I like to do is make sure that I know the dimensions without using up my cardstock scraps. I just use some computer paper. So I mark with a pencil how things are going. I know I'm going to start with a card base. In this case, I indicated that this is color. I just liked the way this went, not using a white card, but you can certainly mix it up and do whatever works for you. Then my next layer, so this is a regular 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And then I took this down by a 1/2 inch. So it is 5 by 3 3/4. So we're going to have a bigger gap right here. And then I used, and that's white. And then I used a color when I was figuring this out and just took it down by 1/8 of an inch. So that's 3 5/8 by 4 7/8. Then I needed to figure out how big these papers looked since I was going to layer on this. I started with much bigger papers and I played around with them and figured out that this dimension worked best. So 1 1/2 by 4 1/4. Now what you could do with this sketch if you wanted to is you could eliminate a whole layer here, make a white card with color cardstock, and then lay these down and maybe make them a little bit wider, maybe 1 3/4 and a little bit longer, maybe 4 1/2. Up to you, but that is how you can use a sketch to change it up and make your card different based on the materials that you have. Using Sketch 13, the sample that we're going to make together today is this cool purple card. A couple embellishments, a nice die cut layer for your greeting, and then just some quick papers that we're laying in a box along with some purple cardstock and an offsetting white to really separate the layers. I'm going to bring in all the materials I need to make this card. We are going to be using the Simply Said stamp set from Stampin' Up. I'm going to use the rainbow adhesive back dots, and this is Petunia Pop cardstock, and the name of this paper escapes me, but all the supplies and measurements are found on the blog post linked in the description below. And if you just need the supplies, those are directly linked in the description below as well. I'm going to set these aside. First thing we're going to do, I'm going to put these together first. So this goes pretty quick. All right. Now we are working on Sketch 13 today. You'll find that I have recently put up cards using Sketch 12. I will link that in a card up above for you to see. And then once we get to Sketch 20, I will bundle them together in a direct download where you can get all of them. There we go. Now, if you want to stay caught up with everything that's going on at Ink Stamp and Scrap, be sure that you subscribe to my email list. There is a link below to do that. And what will happen is whenever I put a blog post up and or a video, you will also get an email to let you know that there's something new and fun to download and add to your stash of instructions on how to make quick and easy cards. Now I'm going to go ahead and layer the paper on. And this, when you're using a card sketch and it doesn't have layers that go perfectly together like this is like whatever you want to do layering. I always like to create my greeting and stamp it and add it last, because even though the sketch says it's going to go right here, depending on how everything goes, when I put these down, I may want to move it around a little bit. We'll just have to see. So I'm going to start with the left layer. I'm using a little less heavy hand with the glue because this is paper and not cardstock. And I'm going to angle this one to be pretty far over here, but I would like a decent angle on him this way. Okay, and then I'm going to put the right one down. You'll notice this is pretty straight here, so that's why I'm giving these a fair amount of angle to really offset the fact that other one, the middle one, is going to be pretty straight. And we're going to make sure that oops, got a little bit of glue there. That's okay. That this one fits right there. Oh, I don't want the glue up there. So we're going to go back up. And this is what I mean. Sometimes I might have wanted it a little farther over, but we're going to make it work. So this will definitely mean that we're going to move the greeting around a little bit. Now I'm going to put this low to give me a little more space. There we go. But you can see that there's a bigger gap over here than here, and I can just play with this blank piece. I think it's just going to look more interesting to see the bottoms, whereas on the original and the sketch, it went right in the middle. But I had a bigger gap up here. These ones were lower. This time I made them higher, so I'm going to move my greeting down. But before we do that, we need to actually have the greeting. Let's grab a pierced mat and my ink. I always like to have something with some give to it underneath what I'm stamping. Oh, we're not doing thanks this time. We're doing birthday wishes. I'm going to ink this up generously. And then if you're new here, I am a big fan of explaining how to get your nice crisp images. I just set this down and I'm holding it in my head while I'm saying this to you. I'm mentally counting to 10. I am not pushing with all my might to get that stamp image to show up on the paper. I have it set here. There's a minimal amount of pressure, and I'm letting the paper do what it was made to do, absorb the ink only where the stamp image is. Now, when I pull this away and my finger was down here, you can see that I got a nice crisp image. Now I'm going to close this up because I'm notorious getting very inky fingers from not doing that. I don't need the glue anymore because we are going to use dimensionals to pop this up. And then I'm just going to take the release paper off, bring my card back in. And like I said, I think this will be cute down here. Now, one thing that's great about the word birthday is it has an I in it, which means that when we put these embellishments on, we can use, oh, I don't have any purple left on that one, but I do, right there. So I'm gonna grab a little poker, and I'm gonna take a small embellishment and put it right on that birthday. And then in order for them to stand out a little more, I'm actually going to go on the cardstock. And I'm going to go here and here. Then that gives me a nice triangle right there. All right. So my embellishments are the same that I used before, but a little bit different. By the way, if you want to see like how I organize my embellishments, this is the way that I do it, but you can click on the card above to get all the details about how I organize my embellishments. I have found this is, after 20 years, this is the system that has been working for me the longest. Let me show you another sample using the exact same sketch. Let's bring him back in here. So we have our purple card that we just made, which almost identically matches this guy. And then I also used a different paper and different colors. I used a beige cardstock to pop up the strawberry colored cardstock, put my embellishments in a different place, but these are again from the same rainbow pack. Oh, I actually put a dot on the wishes. Oh, that's true, we have 2 eyes. I really should do that before I send this off. So let's do that. And then if you like this idea of having a sketch, seeing a couple samples, having me talk through different ways that you could use the sketch, I would highly recommend that you look at the video that's popping up on your screen right now. I will be back next week with another video sharing card making tips, but for now you can watch that one and see how I used a different sketch to make some beautiful cards. Please consider subscribing to my channel if you've made it this far. I really appreciate it. Click the like button if you'd like to see more. It really helps me with the algorithm. Thanks. Have a great day.